Hey y'all, I'm recording this video all natural this morning, and it's not a makeup kind of mood. I know I'm going through my situation, but I don't want to take away either from what's going on in the headlines about the unaliving. But I'm going to use that in a way to show that pain is pain. And the reason why I get out here and talk is pain shared is pain lessened. When you hold all that pain inside and you don't share it, you're carrying the whole load by yourself. But you can't share it unless someone that you know that you can trust. My dog is growling at me because he wants to get up here on the sofa with me. But reason why I want to talk about this is because, like I said, the Adult Protection Agency was here and the maintenance people showed up. This is just before 2 o'clock. They were almost missed their deadline to come in here to repair these things. Now over here, this was hanging out the wall. But he said he can't do no more to this. I'm going to turn my thing. Look at the condition that's in. They fixed this. Remember, because I couldn't turn the TV on. He said, that's a Comcast issue. So I said, well, who's going to pay for it? Because if their outlet and stuff is damaged, they're going to charge me for a technician to come out here and restore this line. They didn't have an answer. And then one of the other things, I'm going to take y'all here and show you these appliances. This is the condition. I managed to take it off of there. If y'all look at the earlier videos since I've been back in here, I took it off of here. And I took it off of here, but over here, you can, oh, this is evidence. You can still see the plastic. And I've been ripping this off. What are they trying to say? Now, they wrote some nasty stuff, the accident of a grease fire. They said that I endangered the lives of all the tenants here. Like it was an intentional. And isn't this a fire hazard? Do they think I'm not entitled? Now, if I was any other nationality, and I definitely if I was a YT person, you would think they would move them into a unit that looked like this. Where is the inspection people? Now, they came out and they fixed that. They covered up the sprinkler system. But look at the ragged edge. Look at the shady shit work they've done. So now there's no sprinkler system here in my kitchen. So if another grease fire comes out, and they said I'm jeopardizing the lives of other people. But here's why. Now this guy that comes out here is African. Okay, I'm assuming he's African. And he came in yesterday. He said, oh, okay, well, you're back in your apartments, so I'm going to close the case. And I said, why? He said, what do you mean? You're back in your apartment. I said, come here and let me show you everything. So I took him through everything. And I couldn't for some reason pull up, but I know my son sent him how my house looked like a hurricane. They come back in here. And I also told him why it was unnecessary for them to dismantle my apartment, to put down the floor that was two-tone, because they wasn't expecting me to move back in here, so they put a fancier kitchen up in there, which it needed to be upgraded anyway after 13 years. They were supposed to upgrade my apartment. But now they want the apartment that they put me in, they want their refrigerator, they want to swap it out. See, because the refrigerator in the other unit was used. So this was brand new. Hey, let's take the brand new one out there and give her the old one. And the washer and dryer that I had in here is the front loader. So they gave me the stackable one, which noisier, doesn't carry the load that the other one had. So at one point I wanted the washer and dryer back. But this is the brand new shit. See, they want to come take the refrigerator out that's got the seal and everything on it so they can use it to put in somebody else's apartment and give me something new because the ice maker in here doesn't work. They never hooked it up. Like when they moved me back in. Now, normally, if a fire happened, Don't somebody supposed to come out and inspect the work to see if it was livable? Now, how can they ever write me a letter saying that I put the lives in danger of people in here when they left my outlets open? I got pets in here that could have got up on the wall and scratched. They could have got unalived. Or me. Or fire in here. And I don't even, the main water thing, sprinkler system, I guess I would be detective to get out the door. This is the table they busted up. Okay. Anyway, this is my kitchen. Like I said, y'all see some of this stuff that was up here before in my kitchen. I got more stain on this from Kool-Aid or something. I think it was a strawberry soda. But I had this hanging up here. Never even took the tag off of it. So if my kitchen, if this apartment was totally destroyed, how come my shit ain't burnt up? And they want $100,000. It's not funny, but it's laughable. It's definitely laughable. So this man is enthused like he's done a big thing. And I had to tell him, he's like, why do you want to keep fighting this? I said, because you don't understand where I come, because you can't fight this, but I can. I said, this is character assassination. All this stuff, this is emotional abuse. Not just I'm physically put back in here. They think me being physically put back in here, oh no, not all is forgiven. See, this is where the case is comparison. They come in like they're some kind of savior. When I did all the work and presented them all the evidence, now there's the fact that they couldn't keep me out of here. They're like, well, we did our job. You're back in there. No, you did not do anything. You did not do anything. Because you're allowing them, and I told him to his face, when y'all get them a slap on the wrist and close stuff like here, this, I told him my foot, where I have no toes, I said, this is what happens. When y'all give them a slap on the wrist, you're giving them the okay to keep this kind of abuse going. Physical abuse is one thing. Emotional abuse is another. And this, I showed them the pattern. Then he's going to ask me, he said, well, what about the $100,000 they said you owed them? I said, well, that's another thing. I said, whoever in that office, and I'm blaming it on M, she knows who I'm talking about, is the one and the maintenance people that are coming here spreading these lies, sending it to the attorney so the attorney can attack me. Now, the lady that came in here yesterday, the receptionist, see, they sent her up here. Not the property management, but the lower employee. They sent her up here. This is the first time in front of this man that she act like she even knew about the $100,000. So I pulled it out and I showed her. She was like, oh my God. Yeah. She said, I didn't know. I said, yeah, and also in there is telling me if I don't come down there by June 30th. Oh, before I get to that, the letter, I'm not a tenant. Just because I'm going to pay my rent, which they're supposed to be housing me because it was defective equipment, they telling me that, Blue, that's okay. All right, let me put you up here so you start whining. Look at him, so tiny. I don't know if y'all can see him. There he goes. Look at him. He got an appointment on the 25th to get his first grooming and chopped, hair chopped off. So anyway, oh, Lord have mercy. Blue, you distracted me. Anyway, they said I'm not a tenant. I'm not on the apartment that they put me in or this one anymore. and that I have to continue to pay them. But it's not towards my Tennessee, because in that letter they removed me from Tennessee. So I reminded this gentleman of that. I'm not even supposed to be in here, because when the EMS people came, I can verify that, because they said, ma'am, I had to call your son back to find out what unit you were in to do this welfare check, because you're not listed. They're hiding paperwork, y'all. And they're trying to cover their ass. And this is why non-foundational black people can't handle our cases. They don't go through this kind of trauma. And if it is, they keep quiet about it. I said, I have a voice where you don't. I said, I am Cherokee Indian. And I am Blackfoot Indian. And I reminded him that I'm under a covenant. And I think that we need to start telling people, because, see, we're in Jubilee. The faith that they have for you, it's coming out their mouth. I'm going to remind you all that are not true Israels, that whatever you say against us is a curse you're going to put on your own self as of Pharaoh. And I told y'all about this. I am so glad I am, and I'm going to claim it, the founder of the Exodus. And I got this by being inspired by listening to others, especially ooh, Lord, Reclaiming the Throne opened me up 3 years ago to see and the pattern of how they did it. See, that was the basic foundation. That's why I said it was so important for y'all to watch this, because now it makes a whole lot more sense. I told that man, I said, look, this is the threatening letters they keep threatening. I said, why don't you go down in that office and find out who's doing this defamation of character and stuff, and why, and ask them about the $100,000. Why are you going to ask me? I'm not management. I didn't say that to him like that. But when people not using common sense, it puts, how do I think, in an emotional response to stupidity. It's like, how can you say everything is gravy? Ooh, you're back. When I'm picking up pieces of where they came in and destroyed my shit. I even warned them. I said, look, I'm repotting some plants. And I said, I remember the whole window was full of plants. And it's going all up there, everywhere. And I told them, I said, it's going to get my shit water damaged. Because you're moving shit around, it's all got water in it. That's water damage. I'm looking at destruction of destruction of destructions, and I still got bags in my closet. I couldn't even move around in here. There wasn't even a place for me to sit. My son has been here working diligently, trying to really. I stayed in that room when I first got back in here. I couldn't even come out and walk. And I called my son. I said, I don't know if I need to go to the hospital, but I got some videos out there when I'm saying, look at my stuff, look at my stuff, look at my stuff, look at this. And oh my God, he been working so hard. He made it where I couldn't even walk around in here. And these people closing the case saying, everything's fine. Physically, she's in her apartment, but I reminded him, how long am I going to have to keep going through this kind of stuff from them? Dealing with the physical part of me is not dealt with the emotional side, so this is why they can't do anything for us. Because they're going to write it up like they're some kind of hero. I'm from Africa, and look what I did. I got this black woman, all of these lights up in here used to work. They took this picture down, but they left all of this. What was the reason for taking this one down? Because it's got the cable stuff up over there. You had the TV and everything chunked. I haven't even turned it on yet because I couldn't even plug it up to see if it still works. They don't understand that our ancestors has been constantly treated like this. And they haven't let up. So he's telling me to ignore my history and what my ancestors went through because, hey, you're back in your apartment. I said, why do y'all keep slapping them on the wrist? So they can keep doing this. I said, this not only affects me, but it affects my children and their grandchildren. I said, this is what we're fighting for, so if the other people come over here, they won't get this kind of treatment. And the more you let them go and escape, this is going to continue to happen. Where's the inspection people that were supposed to come in here and check these outlets in, and then reaffirm that they have a sprinkler system in my kitchen that works? I'm going to end this right now because I seen something on here respectfully to this Nolan family. I don't know what you're going through. I can only imagine. Pain is pain. I can only imagine people coming up with a lot of stuff that may be true or may not be true, that don't understand what you're going through. You just want the truth. So people, if you're out there doing this, stop. Think of your family. See, I haven't gone through the trauma that they've gone through, but I've gone through enough trauma, the depth of trauma, to know how lies can hurt and how they take their lies and use it against you to protect the wrongdoers. When you lie, you're protecting the wrongdoers and you're fucking shit up for this family. Please stop. Please stop. There, by the grace of God, could go you and yours. But for all you haters out there, the stuff coming out your mouth from now on, just like in the Pharaohs, it's going to be, like he said, I pronounce your firstborn dead. Those of you that spoke words like that, I've already warned you and I'm warning you again. Keep it up. Like that little man that pointed from ice, talking about you all are next. And I said, the same fate that you put for me is going to return and it's going to be put on you. You can't remove us. I am Cherokee Indian. I am Cherokee. And I'm Blackfoot. Almost totally annihilated. I grew up knowing who my great-great-grandparents was. I heard, my grandmother introduced me into Maggie. She had acres of land in Mississippi. Ain't Maggie? Nancy Gibson in Florida, sister, she was my great-great-grandmother. It was so shocking for my grandmother to tell me, this is my this is my auntie. Ain't Nancy. Panama City knows, hey, they know. And we got family all over Georgia, all over Virginia, all over Mississippi, all over Florida. I have an uncle in Tampa that had over 40-something acres. He was one of them. I know my history in my family. I showed y'all pictures of my great-great-grandmother, Claudia. But see, and I showed y'all the book where my mother wrote Africa, My New Beginning, when she traveled back to Africa under the lies that we thought we were from there. But she connected with the origin of where creation came. See, all y'all got black in you. All of y'all are inherited, no matter what modern day country you're in. Y'all keep forgetting where you come from. But you know what? We're okay with that too, because the book told us they hated me. They're going to hate you. Ain't nobody on this earth hated more than anybody but us. Even the ones in the worst poverty hate us. You know? But this is why they got them in our offices, so they don't have to hear our complaints. They put it in non-white people's hands, so they could say, "I don't see why y'all complaining. Why y'all complaining? This is good. Look, get back." That's what I say to that. Because you have not dealt or been here and dealt with this kind of stuff. And we are sick and tired of them treating us like this. We're not speaking out. But they are. People, foundational black people, let them spew it. And you sit there and you stand there and look at them and say, you just cursed yourself. Go in peace. Because like Moses told Pharaoh, the next word coming out of your mouth is the one that's going to condemn you. So keep condemning us and overlooking what we've gone through. If God had it in his heart to punish us for over 400 years, and the promise was for 4, if he punished his own beloved people, why do y'all think y'all exempt? And especially when he said, if you don't follow my instructions after I delivered my people out of bondage, and if you don't restore them, I'm going to turn it on you twice as full. Now, y'all say y'all love God and believe in God, but y'all don't follow his word. So what you going to say when he calls you on it? Like he said, you're not going to be able to open your mouth and say nothing. For those of you all out there that are understanding this, I hear the comments about it. Only God knows your heart and knows how sincere you are. Because there were some people out there that did help the Underground Railroad that suffered the same consequences if we were caught. Or if they were caught, they treated them worse because they were traitors. How dare you interfere with us wanting to keep these people in bondage and you delivering them to freedom? Yeah, we know all of y'all are not like that. But the majority of y'all, and the argument is, you all are not standing up for these videos that we post and y'all not hearing our story, what these people have taken from us. They're over here using the resources that was promised for black people to get up on their feet, to give them a foundation because they took everything. But see, them treaties are out there, y'all. We're not supposed to be paying rent anywhere. They're supposed to be paying us. We're not even supposed to be paying taxes. We're supposed to be having free medical. See, but when you come and you take what these liars said and you believe it, when you could have got with the right people, if you dig into the history and said, look, they coming after us like they came after y'all. What can we do? Martin Luther King showed y'all. Malcolm X showed y'all. They annihilated them. They dismantled the Black Panthers, but we never went away. I'm not claiming to be one. But they have a history here, and they can be brought back to the defense of our neighborhood, because they fed our neighborhoods. So never count us out. But we count you out because you've never been part of this struggle. No, it is not fine with me, because these people now feel that if they got away with it again, they're going to keep doing it. If you can't make a fair judgment in something and you forget the discriminating side of what they did and say, well, hey, they put you back in your house. What, after they done whipped my ass and destroyed my shit, I'm supposed to be happy? And then they put shit up in here like this here, like they're protecting me. Look at the endangerment they're putting the residents in. Mine was an accident, but this is no accident. This is deliberate. And the other one, they had the armor's thing up on the back. They had plastic behind it. So, if it catches on fire, don't this shit melt to it? And it's like adding to the flame? So who's putting the lives of the residents in danger here? The electrical outlets? I think they need to see, this is them accusing me of something and their own curse falling back on them. Watch for it, recognize it. Those black, I'm telling you, Black Foundation, American people, God's word is true. I'm just starting to realize it. That the things that they've been saying about me is the own weapons that they're formed to use against them. And he's giving me a lot of weapons. We going to court. Not housing court, but we going to court. Y'all keep in tune, so start subscribing if y'all want to find out more. Because when we reveal shit like this that we're going through, we're letting other people like us know you're not alone. So if you like this, please send a like. I'm gonna ask y'all to send a like, please, if you want to. But this is so important that you remember how back in the day you could sue somebody for physical abuse, but they never dealt with the mental side of this. So they're saying that, okay, physically you're in the spot, but mentally, they caught you PXD, you got amputation. We're gonna let that slide. You're back in your home. You're disqualified from working on my cases. This is what you come up with. Central Boston Elderly Services, Adult Protection Agency. I'm going to call you all out too. And I'm going to tell you why y'all are not qualified and why y'all won't hire foundational black Americans to work these state offices so that when we go to them, we have a legitimate and an understanding of people knowing what our plight is. You don't know what our plight is, so therefore you're not qualified to make a decision. Clock it.